Welcome to a special deep dive into one of the most intriguing and misunderstood chapters of automotive history to ever cross the Atlantic. Today, we are looking at a machine that is as elusive as a ghost on American soil, a car that represents the pinnacle of 80s French engineering and avant-garde design. We are talking about the 1989 Renault Alpine GTA Turbo, a vehicle so rare in North America that many seasoned enthusiasts have never even seen one in the metal. The story of the Alpine GTA in the United States is one of ambition, corporate shifts, and ultimately a missed opportunity that left us with only a handful of these plastic-bodied wonders. To understand why this specific survivor is such a big deal, we have to look back at what Renault was trying to achieve during the late 1980s. At the time, the French manufacturer was deeply involved with the American Motors Corporation, better known as AMC. There were grand plans to bring a fleet of European models to the American market, and the Alpine GTA was intended to be the halo car that would prove Renault could compete with the likes of Porsche and Lotus. However, when Chrysler bought AMC in 1987, the plans for a full-scale American launch of the Alpine were abruptly canceled. Only a tiny fraction of cars, some reports suggest as few as 21 units, were officially imported or converted to meet U.S. specifications before the project was shelved. This makes the car we are discussing today not just a rare vehicle, but a literal piece of an alternate automotive timeline. The Alpine GTA, which stands for Grand Tourisme Alpine, was the successor to the legendary A310. It retained the classic rear-engine layout that had become the brand's signature, but wrapped it in a body that was revolutionary for its time. Looking at this survivor, the first thing that strikes you is the incredibly sleek silhouette. In 1989, this was one of the most aerodynamic production cars in the world, boasting a drag coefficient of just 0.28. This was achieved through flush-mounted glass, integrated bumpers, and a body made almost entirely of fiberglass and polyester resin panels bonded to a steel backbone chassis. This construction method meant the car was exceptionally light, weighing in at significantly less than its contemporary rivals from Germany. Underneath that sloping rear deck lid lies the heart of the beast, a 2.5-liter V6 engine. This was the famous PRV engine, a joint venture between Peugeot, Renault, and Volvo, but in the Alpine GTA Turbo, it was given a serious boost. With a Garrett T3 turbocharger strapped to it, the V6 produced roughly 180 to 200 horsepower, depending on the specific market tuning. While those numbers might seem modest by today's hypercar standards, you have to remember the weight factor. The Alpine GTA Turbo was a legitimate performance machine, capable of sprinting from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6 seconds and reaching a top speed of over 150 miles per hour. It was a car that demanded respect on the road, offering a unique driving dynamic that felt distinctly different from the front-engined or mid-engined competitors of the era. This particular 1989 survivor presented in the article is a testament to careful ownership and the enduring quality of Alpine's construction. Finding one in the United States in this condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. The exterior paint retains its 80s luster, highlighting the sharp lines and pop-up headlamp aesthetics that defined the era. The interior is equally fascinating, serving as a time capsule of French luxury from nearly 40 years ago. The cabin features deep bucket seats and a dashboard layout that feels more like a cockpit from a small jet than a traditional car. Everything is driver-focused, with a cluster of gauges providing vital information about the turbo boost and oil pressure. It is an environment that balances the raw nature of a sports car with the comfort required for a transcontinental grand tour. For the American collector, this car represents the ultimate conversation starter. You can pull into any cars and coffee event across the country and be virtually guaranteed that you will be the only one driving an Alpine GTA. It is a car that invites questions about its origins, its fiberglass body, and why Renault never officially conquered the American market with it. The mechanical state of this survivor is also a crucial part of its story. Because these cars share many components with more common Renault and Peugeot models of the time, keeping them on the road is not as impossible as it might seem. Those specific body panels and glass are famously difficult to source. The PRV V6 is a robust engine if maintained properly, and the 5-speed manual transmission provides a tactile connection to the road that modern paddle shift systems simply cannot replicate. Driving a GTA Turbo is an exercise in managing weight transfer and understanding the physics of a rear-heavy car, much like an early Porsche 911, but with a softer, more compliant French flair. It is a Grand Tourer first and a sports car second, designed to munch miles at high speeds on the autoroute in total composure. As we see more enthusiasts turning away from mainstream classics and seeking out the weird and wonderful, the value and appreciation for cars like the Alpine GTA Turbo are steadily rising. It is no longer just a footnote in a history book about the failed AMC merger. It is being recognized as a legitimate piece of engineering excellence. In conclusion, the discovery of this U.S. survivor is a reminder that there are still automotive treasures hidden in sight plain. It is a car that challenged the status quo and offered a futuristic vision of what a sports car could be. Whether you are a fan of French engineering, a collector of rare imports, or simply someone who appreciates beautiful design, the Alpine GTA Turbo is a car that deserves its moment in the spotlight. It remains a symbol of a time when manufacturers were willing to take risks and build something truly unique. As this survivor heads to its next home, it carries with it the legacy of a brand that refused to follow the crowd, providing us with one of the most distinctive and memorable driving experiences of the late 20th century. It is a rare jewel of the road, a plastic fantastic masterpiece that continues to turn heads and capture imaginations decades after it first rolled off the line in Dieppe.